All right, guys, for those of you that don't know in the gaming world, today was the tech demo called State of Unreal. And it's using Unreal Engine 5, where basically what Unreal Engine is doing is showing some new cutting edge technologies, battle testing and new different things that they're working on, and showing some just different experiences that they're working on through gaming. But really today, what it really did is it surprised us with brand new gameplay of The Witcher 4. So kind of some background about me. The Witcher 3 is probably my absolute favorite game of all time, tied with The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. So yes, this right here is probably going to be my most excitement that I'm gonna have in a long time about a game. The Witcher 4, I've been waiting for a long time for this game to come out. So for me to be able to see some new gameplay, I'm gonna be pretty excited. But what we're gonna do here on the channel, because I like to be a little bit different, is I'm gonna cut my camera off. I have a piece of paper and a pen. I'm gonna take some notes while you guys watch the trailer, but I also watch it for the first time, and then we're gonna talk about it. So thank you guys for being here. Let's watch the trailer.
Sleep, is he? The ploughing plonker. Break me pearlies on this blasted pit-ridden tract. With his feet on dry road. Aye, the devil's out here! Just running from! Look out there, children. Salt.
Almost had me fooled, Fruin.
This is a technological showcase set in the world of The Witcher 4. What you just saw and are going to see now is running on a standard PlayStation 5 at 60 FPS with ray tracing. So in the game, you'll be playing as CIRI, a professional monster slayer, a witcher. She explores the world and hunts down monsters for coin. The region we are in is called Kovir, and you'll get to explore it in the game. Right now, CIRI is investigating a monster, and after gathering new clues, she is heading back to a nearby village. All right, everyone, meet Kelpie.
Let weeds be weeds, Kelpie.
So just like Geralt and Roach, CIRI has her own loyal companion.
We return to town.
These two characters need to feel like one. Since you're gonna explore the world on horseback, riding needs to feel seamless, natural, and just fun.
Yeah, and to support that, we're introducing multi-character motion matching in Unreal. So CIRI and Kelpie, they're perfectly synchronized when mounting from any angle and speed. And we also support root motion movement on Kelpie, so controlling her feels realistic and grounded. And there are also some really nice improvements to our Unreal Chaos Flesh Solver and these machine-learned deformations. So you've got realistic muscles moving and stretching under Kelpie's skin without compromising the performance there.
So let's leave CIRI behind for a second and talk about the world itself. So much of the Witcher world is natural, organic, especially Kovir with its dense forest and wild nature.
Yeah, and wild nature is hard. And with nanite geometry, we've freed artists from so many of their old constraints. But we don't want to rest until everything we do in Unreal has that same spirit of freedom. There's always more work to do. And foliage is a huge piece of that puzzle. So we are excited to introduce nanite foliage. And in order to achieve gorgeous foliage density everywhere, while still being memory efficient, fast to render, we believe that a new idea was needed. So instead of the same card approach we've been using for the past 20 years, artists should be free to take a nanite approach to foliage, modeling every single leaf and pine needle. And the old LOD tricks of the past, they needed a complete rethink. And in their place, it's a new adaptive voxel representation in nanite. It's volumetric, it's fully 3D, it is super fast to render. And these dense clusters of triangles turn into these cubes, which at a distance, they're no larger than a pixel, and they react to the changing light of our dynamic sun and our shadows, and they allow artists to render whatever amount of foliage is needed to achieve their vision without compromise.
And no compromise means how ambitious we are when it comes to bringing our vision to life with incredible visuals. But more than that, together with Epic, we created faster way to load the world. We can now bring in more content more quickly for the smoothest possible experience as we fly down to catch up with CIRI. Welcome to Valdrest. So Valdrest is a port town, a hub for fishing, trade and mining. It's one of those places where you can meet shady characters or overhear gossip from other lands. It's also where CIRI took on her current contract. High-tech, let's leave Kelpie here and explore the marketplace and food.
And the missus?
I'm so excited we can finally show you some of this stuff. Let's see what Valdrest has to offer.
Bugger. Not her again.
Hey, not even at the Land Exeter Fair! Now, 9 cases why present him with a fish. For the furry rascal will often wait, and the fair's wait grants good fortune.
Which here, have they?
Pardon.
Guys, notice how responsive the world is. Character actions directly affect what happens around you, sometimes even setting off chain reactions. Everything is working together.
Take your nonsense elsewhere, you filthy leg. You'll find only honest pointers here.
Oh, look at this poor gentleman being taught how to fly by an angry innkeeper. That's what happens when you cheat at Gwent.
Last of it, is it?
Running away.
Silver, round ones, what jingle in the purse.
Okay, so this is the guy who gave the series quest his own. Like you probably suspect, he has his own agenda in all of this.
You're off your tits again, Wilfred. Get your ass up.
A typical day's toil.
Who in? Witcheress. What news of my wagons? No eternity is taking that damn salt to arrive.
I found them. And, well, suffice to say, they'll not reach you. As for the salt, I found not one speck. I presume this comes as no surprise to you. Now. Kavir's smuggling trade is of no concern to me.
Shush, shush, shush.
The Manticore, that flattened your cars and devoured your men? Quite the opposite.
Manticore? No, them winged hellspawn dwell in the arse end of Creighton, not here.
While CIRI decides what to do about that merchant, let's take a look at the character technology that powers this marketplace. Why don't we listen in on these fishmongers? They're selling their wares, chatting up customers.
Morning, catch this is. Won't find none fresher.
Rugged me ladies after one of them.
Course. Get this cleaned and gutted for you. You mind, dearest? Into scene, something more. Got mackerel, cod, all Braxton's finest.
And there is tons of tech to play here, even in this simple market stall. Metahuman tools, improved Unreal smart objects, chaos cloth, and more.
Yeah, and all of this exists to make sure that the gap in quality between CIRI and NPCs is as small as possible.
Yeah, and closing that gap, it's not just about fidelity, right, but also authenticity. They should react to changes in the world around them.
But the prisoner in Pillory isn't exciting enough for Valdrest. Let's grab everyone's attention with a circus. But the great performance deserves a huge crowd though. Let's crank it up.
So you are seeing tons of optimizations here to many of Unreal systems, including an entirely new Unreal animation framework, allowing us to fit easily in our 60 FPS budget, not just in rendering, but also with room to spare on the game thread. Over 300 animated skeletal mesh agents all going about their business. And the whole point is to leave breathing room for developers like you to introduce the gameplay and the systems that your players expect, empowering you to make your worlds come to life without Unreal standing in your way.
You are right. That's the open world RPG that we're making. But before we wrap up, how about one final check-in with CIRI? We are making this game to be the most immersive and ambitious open world Witcher game ever. And we are making this a reality thanks to our work on Unreal with the team at Epic. I think what we are doing together is going to bring in a new generation of open world RPGs, and I'm so proud of what we accomplished so far.
We are too.
So we're almost done, but before we go, here's a small gift for all Witcher fans. A first look at Lanexeter.
Onward, Kelby. We've worked.
All right, guys, that was our first look at the new Witcher 4 gameplay. So I wrote down a lot of stuff. I got a whole sheet of paper right here, some stuff that you guys might not have noticed. So in the previous Witcher game, if you didn't know this just from me looking it up, the previous Witcher game was made with an engine called Red Engine, which I actually liked a lot. I liked the way it felt. I liked the way it played. So this one obviously, of course, is made with Unreal Engine 5. So I'm not sure where that's going to lead us. You know, there's a lot of games that are made with Unreal Engine that are great, and then there's a lot of games that are made with Unreal Engine that have trouble. You know, it seems like what they're really trying to do here is they're trying to fix the rendering, they're trying to fix the memory. So hopefully, that's not going to lead us with this just bland game that doesn't have like a lot of content in it. You know, that's what we're hoping for, of course. The other thing too is that we got a first look at one of the two new locations. So the first one was called Valdrest. So as one of the developers told us there, Valdrest is a port town. But one of the really cool things that I heard him say that I don't know if you noticed is that you can meet some shady corruptors there. So if you remember in like The Witcher 3 and you remember some of the people that you could meet, some of the different things that you could do, you know, like the witches out in the swampy area. I can't remember their names. That one king that was hiding, that character that you had to do that ritual on to be able to get him to transform so you could actually talk to him. Just remember some of the stuff that they had in The Witcher 3 and kind of where we're at here. So I was really keen to hear him say that you can meet some shady corruptors there and hear some cool things. One of the other things that I saw that he did was as Ciri was walking through town, you could see that as she was walking through, a lot of the guards were spitting at her feet, just like in The Witcher 3. All the people have this really, really bad just cultural thing about Witchers, and they hate them. And so that's one of the things that I saw there too. All right, guys. And then one of the other things that I noticed was about the horse. Okay, I don't know if you caught the horse's name, but the horse's name was Kelpie. And if you listen to what he says, he's saying that the animations to where Ciri jumps on her horse, whether it's slow, really fast, moderately fast, will always match up with the horse. And the horse also has some kind of engine, some kind of technology to where you can see the muscles and stuff working. Not that everyone cares about that, but if you like a lot of realism in your game like me, then you care about stuff like that. So the horse's name is Kelpie, and if you notice a lot in this area, I don't know like what side, northeast, southwest, what region we're in the game, but you notice that there's a lot of varying colors. We're obviously in the mountains. There's a lot of snow. We're in the mountains because you can see the mountains, but really, if you take a look and you see a lot of the terrain around us is textured, and what I mean by that is it's you have places like we're at right now, which is just like this flat little peninsula on the side of this mountain, but you see all of these paths, you see them overhangs, you see the massive valleys that are leading down there, you see all the foliage, you see the town in the top left-hand corner, you see the town in the top right-hand corner. It seems like that this just small portion that they're showing us is just packed full of content. And what I mean by that is there's the towns, there's the foliage, there's the bear that you're going to see across the screen in just a second, there's a lot of animals, there's a lot of stuff like that. So it feels like what they're trying to do here is they're trying to make it feel the most realistic Witcher game that they've made yet, and I really appreciate that they've done that. The other thing that I wanted to mention about this whole gameplay is most of it is CGI. So if you look at the bottom right down there, or the bottom center right there where it says technical presentation, this is not actual gameplay. The only time that we really get to see actual gameplay was really her walking around, which is here. It does still say that this is a technical presentation, not actual gameplay, but I'm led to believe that this is probably really actual gameplay here. So when you're walking around this town, you hear all of these crazy conversations. You see all of these crazy things. You see the innkeeper throw the guy out. You see the guards and the way that they're dressed and the officials that they're talking to. There's a lot of content to be really excited about in this game, and I am extremely excited. Like I said before, The Witcher is my absolute favorite game, tied with some of the Bethesda games, specifically Skyrim. But I think that's all the notes that I wrote down. I think that's everything that I wanted to go over, other than in the very, very near the end, we got to see this place, and I think the guy pronounced it as Lenexus. I think he said it was called Lenexus, which is right here. Hold on, let's see. Lenexit. So this is Lenexit right here. This is one of the first major cities that we get to see. So let me go back just a little bit so you can see it. So this is like one of the first major places that we get to see, and the major view that we get to see. So if you look here, this city is absolutely massive. But if you pay attention to some of the stuff that's here, you see the boats, you see the massive river, you see just the little houses on the outskirts. You see the massive mountains that are on both sides. But if you take a close look here, you can see the mountains that are in the background. So we don't even know how far or how big this map is or anything like that. But this town, I mean, you can just imagine the type of stuff that you're going to get into in this town. But anyways, guys, that's enough of me blabbering. This is the gameplay of The Witcher 4. I'm going to put the link in the description if you want to watch from State of Unreal directly from their website. I'm also going to put the link of their website in the description if you guys want to check it out. I appreciate you guys listening to me talk and be excited about this game. I hope you guys are excited about this game. And as always, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day.